This video is sponsored by Jackery Solar Generator. Check out the link in the description to learn more about how you can power your entire trip. All right, welcome back to another video. Definitely happy to be back here online. Today, we're up in the sugar bush. If you guys remember, this past spring, we made maple syrup up in the sugar bush. Rick Sugar Bush, our neighbor, our friend. We're boiling, Rick. Wait, we get paid?
Below that red line?
The black line. Ooh,
yep. That's all right.
But one of his friends actually has bought and is now renovating the old workshop where Rick makes all of his log furniture. Oh, and we got Badge here too.
What are y'all looking for here?
Yeah.
I think you're in the wrong place here, little guy.
If you guys don't know Badge, we've been having a lot of fun with Badge out here. But what we're gonna be doing is Rick's family built this place a really long time ago. This is where they make pack baskets, snowshoes. It's all handmade. They make all, just using the material on the land. But the problem is for the past so many years, they've been working in the dark, and it's very difficult. I'll show you guys inside the workshop. They gave me permission to film in here. It's too dark. You can't make log furniture in here. I mean, they just upgraded to these lights here, which are nice and all, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna be putting a solar system in here and a little battery system so we can get LED lights. Nothing fancy. We don't want inverters. They don't want coffee pots. They just want light so they can work, and that's about it. So what I gotta do right now is get some measurements, figure this whole thing out and exactly how we want to wire it up. But we've got this lower room down here, and then there's an upper room in the back that I need to get lit up too. So we're gonna see the current system they have, how we can upgrade it, and we'll get some lighting inside of this place. What do you think, Badge?
I think it's a damn nice day in the Adirondacks.
Yeah, look how dark it is. You can't
It's
even
not
see
too
them.
hot, not too cold. Wearing shorts. It's all good.
Dogs are happy. You happy? Are you happy?
Hey, Max.
All right, so I already got some components. I'm gonna bring this light with us everywhere at this point. We need this light everywhere. So right now they have just a car battery that was left over. I already brought over some components that we're gonna be using. And then they've got a solar panel right here on the outside. Solar panel is just right here on the side of the shop. It doesn't really work at this point. I tested it out. There's no regulation on it, so it's pushing like 33 volts into a 12-volt battery. It's really great. So what we're gonna be doing is kind of redrawing this entire system right here. We're gonna be putting in a little DC breaker for him. Reached out and talked to Jackery. You guys have seen Jackery on this channel before, mobile power solar stations. We're gonna actually install one right here and use that as the entire power system because Kurt doesn't live up here, Rick doesn't live up here necessarily anymore, and we don't wanna pull power. So the best solution that we came up with was that when he comes up to the workshop on the weekends to work, he can have the Jackery charged up at his house, come in, plug it into the DC panel, it will light up the lights, it will function for the weekend, he'll get his solar power input, and then when he leaves, he can charge it in the car, or just bring it home for the week, and then bring it back up the following weekend. So we're gonna be building kind of like a mobile off-grid power station with the Jackery, and that's kind of going to be quite a bit of the plan here. Come on, Dale, you got to have something to say. You have mixed drinks about your feelings.
I do. It's about time for one. That's how I feel about it. No, as y'all, like Mike said, we used the Jackery last year when we went to Colorado. I'm actually using one in the bus right now to power everything pretty much in my bus. I use it for the refrigerator, the lights, and any other, 110 stuff, my computer if I need to have it on for any length of time. So the Jackery is a great unit to be using in this, and it's like he said, there are some other buildings here on the property that don't have power either, so he can actually unplug the Jackery, take it up to the cabin or take it down wherever he needs it, so that's a great thing about the Jackery.
It just started raining up here at the workshop. This is my favorite. You can just hear it pitter-pattering on the tin roof. I guess Dale wanted to take a shower.
Woo. Damn it, man! I should have brought a bar of soap and a towel.
11 feet. 22 by 11.
Put it up against the wall?
Yep. We'll see more of this later, but here's some pack baskets that they make.
That's
cool. We really need some bigger light for this kind of stuff.
You know, that's the whole thing about this video. That's what we're actually doing.
I know.
So by the end of this video, they'll be able to see us.
Yeah, everything should focus correctly. The low light shouldn't be that bad. The whole point of this video is
Low light or low life?
No, we're trying to get this to be brighter. That's the whole point of the video, is to make this place brighter.
Oh.
That's why the video is so dark right now.
Yeah, it needs a little light.
A little bit. It's also starting to rain.
Even a big lighter would work.
Alright, got most of the measurements that we need. I can order some LEDs now for the ceiling. Draw up some schematics of how we want to run it, wire it and everything, but I think we can get our part list ordered at this point and then come back up here in a few days when the parts come in, get it installed. If anyone out there is interested in these chairs and pack baskets, I am sure that Rick or Kurt are going to give us a little bit of a, you know, history of this place and kind of what they do around here, what they build, and that's going to be pretty awesome because I know Badge and...
being a tool guy, look at this.
All right, well, here we go.
He's got... Grab the light.
Oh, you need the light. We need the light.
Need the light. This guy has got this down to a science that he's got all the tools for cutting the holes and doing all the edging and everything. It's so cool. Like just mechanical stuff, but it's all there. Like how they notch, like take the end off it and knurl it, like round it off.
Oh yeah, you can just see what they do. It's all done by hand.
It's all done by hand. And he's got that little benchy where he uses here. He's got all the stuff. Like some of this stuff is older than me and you put together, Michael. Huh?
Probably the three of us put together. You, Dale, and me.
Like it's really cool to see this stuff around, and you know, and how they used to like.
No, but I can't see it because it's so dark.
Yeah, I know. See?
I can't see it for the light.
Nah, that's all right. We'll show it when we get lights on.
Yeah, we'll show them when we get lights on.
Yeah,
Not a big
so
deal.
Stay tuned for part 2, right?
Yeah.
See all this stuff here.
Yeah, video over.
Video over.
Battery dead.
And now a message from our sponsor, Jackery. Now you guys have seen Jackery on this channel before. We've worked with them in multiple different applications, the FJ Cruiser, the trip out to Colorado, and now the workshop here. We're actually doing a full install and a permanent install inside of a building. Jackery creates solar power generators. If you guys are interested, they make models all the way from a 240 all the way up to a 2000 watt generator. This particular one right here is their new 1000 Pro model. This is not the largest model they have, but this one is totally going to be sufficient for the application we're using right now and to power out this workshop. The really cool thing about the Jackery, which right now you're seeing the end of the video of it finally installed and obviously the lights are on. So the Jackery's got many different types of inputs. Right down here we've got 120 volt input at 1000 watts. Over here you've got USB-C and USB-A ports. Up here we have a light which is going to blind the camera. And we're going to get that thing to turn off. And then over here, which we're utilizing for the workshop, you have a car port, which is running 12 volts at 10 amps. And this can be charged off of a car alternator, it can be charged off of solar, or you can charge it off of a residential plug. Now, if you're interested in getting your own Jackery, anywhere from the 240 all the way up to the largest 2000, you guys can check out the affiliate link in the description. That supports the channel and helps me out just to create more content and continue making these videos for you. So I just want to say once again, thank you to Jackery. And if you're interested, I totally suggest their products. I use them absolutely all the time. All right, back down at the shop. I'm here with Kurt. I was telling you guys, you know, that Rick had the sugar bush in the workshop up there. Kurt is actually the new owner and caretaker of that property. So Kurt's gonna be kind of the main helper in getting all this solar system in. And really, I think for the future is gonna be benefiting and helping Kurt out a lot when he's trying to build out, you know, the pack baskets, the little baskets and all the different furniture and stuff that he makes. So at this point, what we're gonna be doing is getting all this wood milled up so we can make some type of strapping to mount the lights onto the ceiling. Kurt and I are gonna be heading back up to the workshop to kind of plan out the lighting in just a little bit once we get the wood milled. But yeah, we should be having some fun. We just got all of our wood milled that are gonna be kind of our strappings for the roof. We got some of our stuff. Now I need to get tools. Since we're going up into the bush, gotta make sure I bring everything that I need. Otherwise we won't have it, I'll forget it, and then we're kind of in trouble. So we're gonna try to grab as much of what I think we need as possible. And then if we forget it, I guess I'm just gonna have to drive all the way back to the shop. Not the end of the world, but definitely not what I want to be doing today, is driving around in circles. Some connectors, some heat shrink, fuses. I don't know what cord is, but I like this. All right, made it back up to the Pack Basket Workshop, great place back in the woods, always super quiet, peaceful up in this area. So now that we're back up here, we've got our wood cut, we got most of our tools, we got all the supplies, we got the lights. I think we're ready to go. But now what I want to do with Kurt is, I did some measurements obviously in the beginning of the video, and we have kind of some spacing. I knew how many lights to get, but now I need to figure out exactly where they want the lights. If we're doing a pattern to it. You know, my first thought was just do 3 on this side, 3 on that side, keep them even, make it symmetrical and call it a day. But they're possibly thinking about, you know, workstations. Oh, geez. Kurt just went on an adventure to go find all of his tools. And while we were unpacking,
they're right here.
They were literally right behind where I was sitting. I was probably just hiding them. So Kurt, real quickly, before we kind of get into this, I was just explaining kind of the concept of what this place is, where we want to put the lights, why in terms of working. So I figure, I don't know if you want to give me a little, or give us a little explanation of kind of what actually happens in here a little bit. I mean,
so you know, we're just in the process of purchases right now, but I've been here for probably 10, 15 years. From watching Jack build to Rick build, and of course some beautiful chairs he's got right there, leaf fountain chairs. Basically, this is the tank that we soak the splints in. We don't need a tremendous amount of light right here. This is not that important. Basically, they're just taken out of there, and we start working with them over on this bench over here. So this is where we're going to need the light, somewhere over the cutting table here for cutting the splints and for splitting the splints. And then over here is basically where we build the basket. Actually, generally you just sit on a chair and build the basket. And Rick, of course, is where he assembles his chairs, his rocking chairs. This is one that's, well, about half done, 3/4 done right now. The other part is we do all our drilling and cutting over here, and this would be the other spot that we probably need it. We do have another room in the back. It's going to be a leather shop. My wife does leather work, so we're going to, that's probably not on the priority list, but that's something we're going to add to right now. Add on to the project list for today. So we got a few spots here to put lights up, and can't wait.
Yeah, so I'm gonna draw up real quick on a piece of paper. We're gonna put some X's on it, try to do some measurements and figure out where we want these lights to go. But so these are the lights that we ended up getting. I've got some wiring for them. We've got a whole bunch of lights. If I could find one out of this little box here. We've got these wonderful like Amazon lights, but they seem to be really bright. They're made for sheds. So I figured that for the workshop, these are gonna work great. So we have 8 of these, or 6. No, we have 10 of these that we're going to be putting 6 in the front and probably 4 in the back for the leather workshop. So we just got to figure out where we want to put these guys, and then we'll be good to go.
Nothing.
So really the first light will probably be...
This is where we do all the cutting right here.
All right, so we got some measurements here that Kurt figured out of what he's looking to do. Oh, look, it's Rick. Hi, Rick.
Oh, no.
Oh, geez, we got Rick on camera again.
No pictures, no pictures.
Oh, gosh. All right,
so we're going to go just from this joist right here over to the snowshoe, where snowshoe is there. It's 13/8, and then we'll do another run to here, and then we're going to put a jumper wire down to the painting table there, and then we'll just run down to get the vise and the shaving horse in.
Okay.
So it should
move that hay rack out of the roof there if you want.
Yep.
You need
we do
something there. Just we'll find a new home.
We'll find a home for it.
Yeah.
All right, so we got our table in the middle, got our workbench over here, workbench over here. This is very rudimentary drawing of the workshop. But the plan is we're gonna put one here, one here, one here, 2 on the other side, and then 1 for the working table. And then we can just daisy chain them all together. Jackery. You see how easy that is? You just draw it on a piece of paper and it's all done. So we got our wood outside, we've got our measurements, we got everything figured out, and what we're gonna be doing is cutting these boards down, and then if we have the lights. So the plan's gonna be, is we gotta take these lights, we're gonna be cutting these out, and then just getting them laid down the whole edge, daisy chain them together, and then we should have ourselves, you know, a lit workshop.
Are we gonna hide the wires alongside, or are you just gonna daisy chain them right?
What do you think? It's your workshop.
I like to put them down the sides.
Like hide them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. We could hide them right along the side. So we'll run our 10, or it's a 14-2 wire. We'll just run right down the edge, and then we'll just have the lights be the only thing you can actually
It's
really
supposed to be a non-electric shop. I'd like to limit the amount of, I guess, the look of technology, I guess, which would be wiring.
Yeah.
We do need the lights in here. There's no other option there. We don't want to put gas lights in here because, well, we got all the wood and all, so this is probably the best option we got.
Alright, so this one's going here somewhere.
Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's going to be there.
And,
Okay, so center of this table, which is pretty much where I'm at now. We just did the best measuring you could possibly do, and that's not using a tape measure. It's just bringing the board in and then just simply standing where you possibly would want light and then just make a mark. It's just, you know, backwoods non-measuring. We just mark it where we want it, and that's where it goes. But we got all the lights marked out where Kurt wants them over the different workspaces. So at this point, it's really just starting to wire. This is where I'm just gonna start having a lot of fun. It's eventually gonna end up over here at this light switch. So we have this really old school light switch that Rick's dad put in a long time ago. We're gonna reuse this as the main light switch. Then the wire will eventually run down and over to the Jackery home right here. And then once we get this front part done, then we'll have to move up into the upper area up there where Rick's currently working and put the lights up in that area. All right, Rick, what are you up to? Come on. I haven't seen you since maple syrup season. What lessons can you teach them today?
You gotta clean this crap out of here before you can start working. That's all I got to say.
and a few words.
Yeah, so I showed you guys this room before, but this room was, you know, a material storage room when Rick was working up here, but this will become a leather, yeah, this is the reject room, but this will eventually turn into the leather working shop and tanning shop. Kurt is a trapper, so he's gonna have a bunch of furs up here, and his wife does a lot of leather working, so eventually this is that area. Rick's just
Cleaning up.
just cleaning up years and years of rejects. So, you know, this entire video is about us once again putting light in, and we're just using a flashlight because we still don't have any light yet. This whole project, I was just telling Kurt, Dean's HVAC, you guys might know Dean from the schoolie. He always told me that, you know, it's the worst thing ever because when you're doing HVAC work, you're either putting the AC in the summer and there's like, you know, heat in the attic and you're just sweating the whole time. You get the AC working and then you leave. And then in the winter, you pretty much, you know, put the heater in, the house is freezing cold, you put the heater in, it all works, and then you leave. And now we're in the situation where we're doing the electric work. We have no lights. We're going to put the lights in and then I'm going to leave, but Kurt's going to keep working. So we're just trying to make do with what we can here. Cut this one, and I want to reuse that. Like, I think that'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool. So this is like everything. It's like a museum in here, but this is a guest book that Jack, Rick's father, used to have. He used to have 750, 800 visitors a year, diplomats, whatever, come in and see this shop, the basket shop, and him building. He was a gentleman, a kind gentleman there. Actually, my little girls fell in love with him when we first met him. But anyway, so this is a guest book everybody signed for years and years and years of just all over the country, all over the world. Actually, people would show up here.
Well, and the cool thing too is that we get to now put the electric in, and I mean, you're now the one who gets to carry on that guest book, and hopefully,
We hope so.
I mean, yeah, hopefully you get another guest book and start filling that one out.
Yeah, I'll just put it on the house here. We want.
Demo complete. So solar panel, the old solar panel has been taken off. We got all the wires gutted out. Kind of just went through the ceiling, got all the old stuff. Just, you know, it's an opportunity to clean up a little bit. So we're gonna do that. And now we just gotta get everything mounted over there. Get those things, screw them in.
We drained it.
This one here?
They flooded
We were
my lot.
hoping to flood his place, that all the waterways would start working there.
This
but
one here?
All right, so string number one. It always takes longer to heat shrink and put wires together than I always think. But the board number one is done. We've got 3 lights on this one, so 1, 2, 3. They're gonna end up just over the locations we planned out before. And before we go any further with getting the other ones done, we figured we just wanted to, put this one up a little bit, set them up, and just see if our spacing's even gonna work, if the lighting's really what we think it's gonna be, and then if we can confirm that, then we're kind of good to go to keep wiring and get everything going. So yeah, we'll just hold this one up, test it out, see what it looks like. Maybe we'll start getting some light in here. But yeah, that's
just hit the button. The button's on.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's awesome. All right, Kurt, before you go anywhere, I need to know, what's your opinion of the lights? That was the first vision.
That was awesome. That's only half of it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we gotta put half more in.
That's it.
All right, so we got the first one in, tested out, it confirmed what we were thinking, that it was gonna be enough light. So now it just is about, you know, just doing it over again about 3 times, and then we have all the lighting done. We do still have to run the wires all the way through, get the Jackery system fully actually integrated, but you know, at least we tested the theory, we know it's gonna work, and now it's just rinse and repeat, heat shrink, crimp, heat shrink, crimp, wire, crimp, light, I don't know. Lunch, yeah, lunch is coming. So we wanna go from here, that's a 2-to-1, a 2-to-1, and 1 out.
Light would be behind us.
Okay, so you want it like at the...
Yeah, that'd be great.
Try it. I'm leaving little bits of technology all over the place for you guys to find.
Wire.
Did you say you were a logger or an electrician? I think we'll make a solar installer out of you.
Oh, I like this work.
So we've got officially this lower room. We've got all of our lights up here run. The wiring comes across here and then down this side on 2 lights, which are over the shaving horse. And then we have 1 over here on the workbench for just kind of working over here by the window at night. And then it goes all the way over to a switch where Kurt is currently wiring. So the lower room, we're really happy with. It's pretty much wired up. So the next kind of phase of this whole project is gonna be going from this light switch right here, which is a pretty cool old light switch that, you know, was original to the workshop. So we're gonna reuse it. And then the power is gonna come down here into this DC junction box, where we're gonna put all of our leads on. And then from here, the way that we're gonna utilize the Jackery is by their 12-volt plug. So this end is gonna go into the Jackery, and then this end I'm gonna cut, and then it's gonna get wired into this DC panel right here. The really interesting thing with the Jackery that is gonna was one of our limiting factors, but you just gotta think about it and work with it, is that we're gonna be using their, you know, carport right here, but the carport is rated for 12 volts at 10 amps. So that's its maximum output, which essentially means that that DC breaker box down there is gonna be maxed out at 10 amps. So when we were doing these lights, I had to find lights that matched to actually work with the Jackery. So each one of these little guys right here is 8 watts at 12 volts, and we're gonna be putting 10 of them in, so that's 80 watts. Divided by 12, 6.6 repeating amps. So we could still technically put about 3 to 4 more lights in here if we wanted. But what they're probably gonna end up doing is using one of the diesel heaters that runs like 2 amps. And then that's gonna bring them up to like 8.6. And then they still got a little bit that they can play with on that junction box and still utilize the Jackery in this situation. So then essentially this lower section is gonna be running 5 lights at 8 watts. And then the upper section will be running the rest of it. So, you know, technically they really shouldn't have an overloading moment with the 12-volt carport. And if they really need more power for some reason in terms of charging things, the Jackery does have, you know, AC ports for 120 plugs. It does have USB-Cs and USB-As. So there is other ways to plug in and charge, but this is the way we're going to use it.
So what we're going to try to do, though, is we're going to put the 110 converter for the DeWalt batteries, not only for tools, which we don't plan on doing here, but our lighting for the cabin. We're going to bring the batteries up there, and we've got attachments on the lamps, so we just click the battery and we can use an LED light on each one of them. So this will be basically a centralized station for charging things, and like I said, we're going to use the DeWalt batteries or whatever brand, you know, we decide to is in flavor for the month, and we're going to do that.
All right, so really next thing is I'm going to get this carport thing wired into that DC panel while he's working on the light switch, and then we just got to connect them together. And it might be crazy, and it might seem like a really long time in the making, but we could turn the lights on in this lower room and just check it out.
We went into camp last night.
What?
We went into camp last night.
How is it?
Oh, we had a blast.
Who was in there?
Do you know what time it is?
It is light time.
It is, you can plug in your Jackery and flip a switch, and lights should turn on if we did it right.
That's a vote of confidence.
Yeah. 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 Number 1 is the Jackery charged. All right, we did everything right.
We're gonna eventually tuck it in this little corner right here.
Yep. So plug that in, then you gotta, on button. Now the panel's already hot, so now you just gotta do your light switch and, oh man.
Woohoo!
Jeez.
Good. Oh, this one, we gotta get this one on.
Oh.
There. Nice. That actually was nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
How many
I'm
more
working
can you
this.
link in on that?
We got 4 more we're gonna put in on the upper room.
4 minutes in the other room.
So,
Can't wait for dark.
Thank you very much.
oh yeah. You want to flip your new
Mike,
light
thank
switch?
you, Jackery.
Down?
Yep.
Woo!
The old school light
We
switch.
put an
we
old
used.
switch on there.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, that will definitely work.
That's what we wanted.
Well, the lower room is officially up and running. The lights are on. Rick actually showed up and he's working on a rocking chair right now, so you can get a little sneak peek of what you're going to be seeing in the next video when Kurt and Rick are going to kind of explain and show a little bit more of what they do in this workshop. But the big thing that we're going to be doing in the next video is heading up into this upper room. We've got to install the diesel heater and obviously some lights because it's so dark. I dropped off a diesel heater, which is in a box right here the other day, and I'm going to be installing it in the workshop over here in the corner so that Chrissy, in the winter, will have some heat. There is a fire stove down in the bottom, but if she's working up here by herself, it'd be easier just to use the diesel heater. So in the next video, we're going to be seeing some rocking chairs. We're going to be seeing some diesel heater installs. We're going to be installing some more lights, and everyone's going to get their favorite friend Rick is going to be in the next one. So you guys can all be excited for that one. So, I just want to say thank you to Jackery, thank you to Kurt and Rick for letting us film up here in the workshop and just share all this great history and family legacy here. I want to say thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you next time.